Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob Restituto. I'm a musician from Northport, New York, and today we're going to be reacting to and breaking down, talking about the Kid Laroi, Justin Bieber, the montage version. So I wanted to, I went through a couple different sections of it, just kind of skip through it just to make sure it's actually worth filming a video about. And part of the reason I actually want to do a video like this is because I love, as an artist myself, as a musician myself, and as a creator myself, watching other creators create kind of behind the scenes, because it gives a lot of insight into how they film their video. But also as an artist, I'm like, oh, that's such a good idea. I would have never thought of that. Let me try that in one of my videos or songs or whatever the case is. So I really like it to borrow ideas from other artists, but hopefully I can add a little more insight into the fact after as well. So if you want to check out my music, I have a new song coming out called Nobody Else. It's a cool ballad song. So if you want to check that out, it's going to be coming out really soon on all streaming platforms. I also have a whole bunch of songs out there already. And if you're interested in more stuff, like for example, like the Shawn Mendes In Wonder documentary reaction, that's going to be on Patreon. Olivia Rodrigo stuff on Patreon. Ed Sheeran stuff on Patreon. Whole bunch of stuff on Patreon. This is the Kid Laroi, Justin Bieber.
Shooting a music video with Justin. Let's stay.
Let's
He
go.
kind of looks like he could be Justin's little brother. I love the echo of that synth, man.
I do the same thing.
The contrast of that scene right there was very interesting. Justin in this massive puffy jacket and the Kid Laroi just shirtless. Like, what's the temperature out?
I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay. Need you to stay. I get drunk.
Okay, question for everybody. Do you know when there was this looks like New York, but I'm curious if it was not New York. Does anybody know? Oh, or was somebody, I might have read a comment saying it might have been Toronto, but I don't know.
Wake up, I'm wasted still. I realize the time that I wasted here. I feel like you can't feel the way I feel. I'll be fucked up if you can't be right here.
Okay, see, so that's how I figured that they filmed this section with the ropes. But we'll get to it in a sec. There was another section where he's kind of hanging there. I thought that was also roped, but it's actually green screen. We'll see in a sec. Also, these rigs are incredible, man. What I assume they do is, because they're such heavy cameras, I actually believe that they take off a lot of the weight of the camera. All right, let's look at some of these settings we got over here. All right, so 23.976. There are a whole bunch of options when you're filming. There's usually 24 frames per second, or the variant, which is 23.976. There's 30 frames per second, or 29.976, I believe. And then there's 60 frames per second, 120 frames per second, or also 59.97. I don't know why. If somebody knows in the answer below why or in the comments below, why you would film in 24 frames versus 23.976. I don't know the answer to that. It does not make sense to me. I'm like tech, but I don't understand it that much. That being said, they're all just different shutter speeds. The typical eye you're typically used to seeing at 24 frames per second. That's why when you watch like a Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, more so I've noticed in Jimmy Kimmel style video where the news is filmed in 60 frames per second, or sometimes 30, you actually see it. It's more buttery. You can see the arms move slightly different. Even though they're moving the same, just the way that there's more frames per second that it captures more, your eyes aren't naturally used to seeing that. So it's an interest, you can notice a difference. Okay, so that's the green thing right there, where he's just kind of we're just sitting on top. Huge reader. I love the staccato bass, man. So the way that back to that hanging thing, the way that green screen works is, the reason I assume that they use green is because when you actually use it, you tell the computer or whatever you're using to edit the footage, hey, remove this specific color. So you could actually tell it to remove any color. You just click on the color that you want removed, and it'll remove all of that color. The reason it's green is because nobody wears that color green. It's such a specific shade of green. So all that green gets removed, and whatever's behind, or it just becomes a transparent layer. You can either just remove it, or whatever's behind it will show. So that being said, what's really interesting, you could do a black, you could remove the color black, but everything that's black would now become transparent, and that's not super useful. That's why we use green screen. Bass sounds so good, man. Is it just me? Or does anybody else get kind of like Spider-Man vibes in this video? Like even in the original music video. Hear that reverse reverb? Oh, that's funny. Even on that, he has a little thing in case he falls off, like on his, like look right there on his tag. That's funny. Oh, that's wild with a drone. Oh, listen to the funky guitar on the radio. This has to be New. This is so New York, man. It has to be. I assume. Let me know in the comments. Oh, I didn't notice the vocoders coming in here. Listen to the vocoders. Vocoders is an instrument. A vocoder is an instrument where you layer or you run vocals through the synthesizer, and it layers all these different chords based on the MIDI that you're putting in. A really cool instrument. I love that instrument. Oh, come on, nice. Even when I knew I never could, know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay. I do the same thing. I told you that I never would. I told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, need you to stay. That's wild, man. Like, it's so cool that Justin's like, I heard somebody said that he's mentoring him. Like, that's so cool, man. I need you to stay, need you to stay.
Okay, I gotta jump in this ball pit though.
It's amazing what artists like when they have the budget for this kind of stuff, like just the amount of stuff that they have. They're renting out that street. Did you notice like that the street was closed? Like, have you ever been in Manhattan, like notice a street closed off because they're filming? Very much could be filming a Kid Laroi new music video. So hope you guys enjoyed that. Want to check out my music? It's the best way to support the channel. Thank you so much for the support for everybody else out there. Have a great day. God bless and peace out.